Hello friend, welcome to my kitchen. This week of meals, we're mostly going to be focusing on dinners, are all going to be pantry and garden and freezer and refrigerator pull meals. We are going out of town a week from yesterday, and I haven't been grocery shopping since you and I went to Costco last before we did big freezer cooking days, and I don't want to go grocery shopping between now and when we go. I want to eat down what's in my refrigerator. We have plenty of beautiful produce coming from out of the garden that between what I've meal prepped, what's coming out of the garden, we're going to eat fresh and delicious for this coming week. I kind of want to do some pantry challenges throughout the growing season just to see how well they go. And we're going to start with this one. Now, let me show you what I did earlier today, because I did some harvesting out of the garden for some of the groceries we need for tonight's dinner and some of the dinners throughout this following week.
The first thing we're gonna do is fix this trellis. I have sugar snap peas here that I planted, a new variety this year to me, and I did not realize how big they would get. They taste delicious, but over a 3-day rain and wind, not really a storm, but high winds and rain, they fell over onto my peppers because they outgrew the trellis. So Josh and I are gonna get this fixed, and then we're gonna harvest this. On this day, it was a huge pantry and fridge clean out day.
Huge though.
I know.
So how'd they fall down?
Well, they got way too tall.
They were so tall, holy cow.
Yeah, I've never grown this variety and I didn't realize how tall they would get.
I've got these and I've got sticks, but I don't think the sticks are any taller than that.
Well, I was thinking what we could do with the sticks is zip tie the sticks to like right here, so they would be taller.
Okay.
What if we just zip tie them to the trellis?
Well, they're attached to the trellis. The problem is that they're attached to the trellis.
I know. I've never grown this variety before. No. That actually might work just like that.
Just leaving them like that?
If we could zip tie a couple of them to...
Because it would be good for them to just start growing down, right? But will they do that?
Yeah. Yeah, they might just start doing that.
Like, what am I zip tying?
I think if they're just bent over like that, they'll be fine. Work. So this is what we were able to harvest. Josh helped me. We've eaten lots of these. It's just we haven't harvested to bring them inside to cook them with them yet. And there are so many flowers. Each one of those little white flowers can be a pea. And I'm hoping that they will be okay and not too many of the actual vines are pinched. I'm gonna harvest lettuce. We've been able to eat as much lettuce as we want. And what I have found is that if I bring the lettuce inside and I wash it, and it's prepped and ready to go, then we will eat on it. And if I cut it like this, if I just give this lettuce a haircut, then it will grow back. But washing it, getting the bugs off of it, is the key to eating lots of lettuce all summer long. This lettuce will grow back from right where I trimmed it.
I quickly learned when having a garden that the best thing you can do for yourself when it comes to greens, at least for me, is to bring it inside, wash it, and get it prepped in the fridge, because then when you want it for salads, as a side dish, You want to put it on a sandwich, you want to top a taco. You don't have to go out to the garden and harvest it and wash it. These greens are grown organically, so there are definitely bugs in them, and they must be washed to get the dirt and the bugs off. So I have found the best way to do this is to use my salad spinner, rinse them off, toss them around in the running water, and then salad spin them. And then the best way to keep them fresh and crunchy in the fridge is to roll them in a towel and a paper towel and put them in one of these green bags. And I can get them to last in the fridge fresh and crunchy for about 2 weeks this way.
So I have what we prepped in the fridge. I actually just cleaned my refrigerator out and it feels so good. I don't know about you, but I like to go out of town with a clean house. And it started with getting this refrigerator clean. So we've got our lettuce here and our sugar snap peas. We are gonna have this for dinner tonight. And we're also going to have some of these Asian burgers tonight. So I've preheated the grill. So we're gonna start with dinner tonight. And we're gonna have these Asian burgers with sauteed sugar snap peas and some rice in the fridge that I prepped over the weekend that we didn't eat. So we need to eat that up. Normally I would make these burger patties that we prepped and I would put them on a hamburger bun with some sriracha mayo coleslaw, but I'm trying to use what I have, and I've got hamburger buns in the freezer, but those are frozen and are gonna stay frozen just fine. And the rice that I made earlier in the week needs to be eaten. So we're gonna have this over rice with sugar snap peas tonight, which is gonna be delicious. And here's some other things I pulled out of the freezer. I don't really have a meal plan per se. This is what we're gonna work with though. I have a chimichurri flank steak here. This is some cilantro lime chicken. The recipe was called cilantro lime chimichurri, but it's basically like cilantro lime chicken. So these are gonna thaw and we will cook these up sometime this week. I'm also gonna thaw some corn, and I am gonna put some breakfast burritos or sandwiches in the fridge for Josh. So these are gonna go in the fridge. So this is the rice that I prepped earlier this week that needs to be used up. Yesterday, I also made some pico de gallo, and we ate all of the taco meat that I made to go with that. So I figured one of these chickens or the flank steak, we could have like maybe some sort of burrito bowl or something like that tomorrow with a ton of lettuce. So maybe we'll have like a taco salad or something. I don't know. You will follow along to see what we end up making. And I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and we're gonna get those burger patties on the grill. Tonight's dinner is gonna come together so quick. There's no real theme for this week's dinner other than the fact that we're gonna try to eat as much produce out of the garden, and we're gonna eat what we have on hand so that I don't end up going out of town with groceries in my fridge. We've got a little bit of fruit. I did pull out a freezer meal. This is a chicken pot pie that Josh really wanted when he heard that I made it over the weekend. So I pulled that out, and that is thawing. And so we'll have that probably sometime this week as well. But I'm just not exactly sure how this week is gonna go. So these are our two sides. I wanna get the burger patties on the grill first so that these can cook, because these are frozen. If you've been with me for quite some time, you know that typically in the winter, I do a pantry challenge. Well, this last winter, I got pneumonia for 3 weeks, and well, I probably only had pneumonia for 2 weeks, but I was sick for a total of 3 weeks. And I did not have it in me to do a pantry challenge. So I thought now would be kind of a fun time to do it, because the garden is producing groceries for me. And I don't really have themes when I do these style of pantry challenge dinners. It's just using what I have on hand. And we've got a couple trips and stuff this summer. So obviously I won't be doing a pantry challenge then. But when I'm here, I want to focus on eating what's coming out of the garden. And so a pantry challenge just might be the best way for that. Now these patties are frozen, so I'm going to turn my grill way down. And I'm going to get, I think, 6 on here, because we'll have these for lunch tomorrow. Or I'll even eat this for breakfast. I would totally eat something like this for breakfast. So I'll link this recipe. We made this in the last freezer cooking day we did together. And then I've got a little one here. This one is about half the thickness as the other ones. I'm gonna cook that one for sure. So I'm gonna get these back in the freezer, and then I can cook these a different time for a different dinner. And I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna close this lid so they can start to cook and thaw at the same time. While these are cooking, let's go inside and make the sides. Josh is working on the chicken coop right now. He's been working on it all day. It's been a family affair out there while I've been inside kind of cleaning and organizing. And he came in when I was finishing cleaning out the refrigerator, and he said, I'm hungry. So this is perfect timing that we're having an easy dinner. So I have already washed these sugar snap peas, so we need to get them cooking. And my favorite way to make sugar snap peas is in a really hot cast iron. I think I need my big one, so I'm gonna need 2 hands, and I'm gonna grab this one. So I want this cast iron piping hot. While this is heating, I'm going to go ahead and heat up my rice. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of water in this rice, and then I'm gonna microwave it because that's how easy it is. A couple drops, pop this in the microwave for probably 3-4 minutes, and now our side is done. I could have made fried rice or something like that, but I figured we'll basically make like a bowl. We'll have rice, sugar snap peas, and our beef patty on the top. So I'm gonna start with 3.5 minutes. Once this is piping hot, I'm gonna put a little bit, or maybe a good amount of butter in there. And we're gonna let that melt. This is one of my favorite things to make out of the garden. We did a butter taste test live, Josh and I, and this was the butter that won the taste test, not only for the price point, but for the quality and flavor. It was the Kirkland grass-fed butter. Now we've got our sugar snap peas. This is almost as hot as I want it. So I just cut the ends off, and we're gonna get these in here. These are only gonna take a few minutes to cook. Now I'm gonna let these sit here, and I'm not gonna touch them until the bottoms of these sugar snap peas have a beautiful color to them. The goal is for these sugar snap peas to have a lot of crunch left in them. We don't want to cook them till they're totally soft. We just want a nice charred color, but a good crunch left on them. Josh is gonna want a sauce to put over his rice and his burger patty. So I'm gonna make some spicy mayo, but I'm not gonna make it too spicy because I want my family to enjoy it. So I've got 2 spoonfuls of mayo here. I don't wanna make too much because I don't want too much. I want just enough for the 6 patties we made. And then maybe a tablespoon of sriracha. I'm gonna mix that together. And I think I'm gonna add, because I don't want this to be too spicy, a touch of honey. Our rice is done. So now we have a sweet, spicy, creamy sauce to go on top of our burger patty, our rice, and our beans if we want it. That color is exactly what we're looking for. So now that I've stirred this, I'm not gonna touch it for another couple minutes. I do want some seasoning on this though. And to make life easy, I'm just gonna use some seasoned salt that we made up together the other day. This has all the things in it. And I like this nice and seasoned. So we're just gonna let that sit there while we go check on our beef patties. Perfect. They're not sticking, which is nice. Oop, that one's sticking a little bit. I just let my family know dinner is almost ready. That was Orbit, I don't know if you saw him. He can smell that I have something on the grill. And so they're gonna come up here in just a minute. They've been working on the chicken coop for the past few hours. I think these are done. I don't want to overcook them. I just want a nice char. Yeah, see, like, look at that. Yummy, yummy. So I just turned the cast iron off. So I really only stir these a couple times, maybe 3 times total. Like, look at that. That looks really dark, but that's just delicious. So I checked the internal temperature of these patties and they are done, and it smells incredible. And I think Josh is actually gonna want 2 of these because he did not eat lunch. So let's go get this plated up. I am going to dish up this dinner. And I think I'm gonna have no rice. If I had thought about it, I would have probably heated up some cauliflower rice, but I didn't think about it till just now. So I'm just gonna have my patty with sugar snap peas. I know Josh is gonna want a good amount of rice. Here is night 1's dinner, and I don't think we will have seconds. Usually what I dish up is what we have. So I have this many sugar snap peas left, plus we have 2 burger patties left and a little bit of rice. So I probably will have those sugar snap peas for breakfast, plus one of these patties. Josh will probably have one of these patties, some rice, and some sauce for lunch tomorrow because he will have a breakfast sandwich and this. I typically like to eat my breakfast / lunch around like 11 or noon. I just am usually not that hungry in the morning, but if I am, I'll eat this in the morning. We'll just see. But my family, I can see, is coming up. So we're gonna sit down. This was night 1 of Pantry Challenge, and it was pretty easy. I don't know if we can call this a challenge, but week 1, no grocery shopping, trying to utilize what's coming in from the garden. Happy afternoon. It is 1:44. So this morning, for breakfast, Josh had a breakfast sandwich. My son had some pancakes and orange, and I had the rest of those sugar snap peas, and that's all I've had today. I forgot that it is a night that Josh is gonna go golfing with his friends. So he leaves kind of earlier in the afternoon today, or evening. So we're gonna have a late lunch, early dinner. I was going to grill something, but I think what we're gonna have tonight is just chicken pot pie because it's gonna be so incredibly easy. This is completely thawed, and this is just the filling mixture. Hey, Dakota. Excuse me, I'm talking. And this is thawed, but it is cold, and I'm just gonna throw this in the oven as the oven preheats. And this has peas, carrots, and celery. I probably will have a side salad to go with this or not, I don't know, it just depends on what my family wants. That's gonna take a bit of time. I have not gotten ready for the day. We've just been doing computer work and hanging out as a family all morning. And once that filling gets super, super bubbly, then I will put on these biscuits. These biscuits are rock solid. So I think what I'm gonna do is just throw them in the fridge for now. This will probably take a good 35 minutes to 40 minutes to come to a bubbly boil. And then we can put those biscuits on. I can't put the biscuits on top until it's super bubbly. Otherwise the bottom of the biscuit won't get fully cooked. So I'm just gonna pop these in the fridge, and then I will show you putting these on top of the chicken and a biscuit once we get to that point. This has been in here for probably about 40 minutes. You can see it's nice and bubbly. I was just gonna give it a little bit of a stir, and then we're gonna get the biscuits on the top. Vent it a little bit. Just make sure it's not sticking on the corners where it usually gets hotter. This smells so good. I know this is not a very summery dish, but it is probably one of Josh's favorite dinners, and I haven't made it in a while. You know what I might do? I might make up while I'm in the kitchen. I just did some garden projects. I might take that corn and turn that corn into something for tomorrow's dinner while I'm in the kitchen and the kitchen is quiet. These biscuits are about 90% frozen still. They are going to bake up nicely though. You definitely want your filling to be really hot before you put your biscuits on so that the bottoms of the biscuits will bake in, kind of become like a dumpling in the filling, and the tops will get crispy. Hopefully it just stopped boiling because I've had the oven door open for a minute. So now I'm gonna go ahead and shut this. I think what I might do, because I don't want the tops of those biscuits to get too brown before the insides cook, I'm just gonna layer that on there just to be safe. Tomorrow I'm going to grill that chicken and flank steak, and I want some corn salsa / relish to go with it. I don't know if I'm gonna make burrito bowls or tacos. I do have tortillas. I bought those at Trader Joe's when we went to Trader Joe's last time we went shopping. I think I went into Trader Joe's by myself and I knew we didn't have tortillas, so I picked up some tortillas. So we might have tacos, I don't know. I just know we're gonna have that grilled chicken and steak. And I might as well get this corn prepped for tomorrow since I'm in the kitchen and I have a minute. And I figured I need to bring those jars downstairs. I did a big organizational project yesterday. Today has mostly been computer stuff. I did computer work all morning. We spent a ton of time outside as a family. And then I just pulled all the garlic. I just took care of the chicks. Josh is outside now working on the chicken coop until he goes golfing with his friends. So when I did this organizational project, I washed these jars, but I don't have anything that needs to go in them. I'm gonna keep them because I will find something to put in them at some point. So I'm gonna bring these downstairs because I need to grab a couple things from downstairs to finish off our corn relish. I have a jar of pickled banana peppers. The recipe that I can link for you calls for a jar of roasted peppers, but I kind of want to use up these pickled peppers from last year's garden before the peppers come in from my garden. Now, this was the first time I've ever pickled banana peppers, and they're good, but they're not crunchy. So if you guys have a recipe for crunchy pickled peppers, would you all leave it down in the comment section for me? I would appreciate that. They're good, but I like to use them in applications like this. I don't really put them on sandwiches because they don't give you that crunch that you get when you get store-bought pickled peppers. So I just run a knife, or sometimes I'll take a pair of, I just dropped peppers on my floor. Sometimes I will use a pair of, I'm tired today, and I have not eaten enough today, so I'm excited for dinner to come out of the oven. I will take a pair of kitchen shears and chop the peppers. So I'm gonna get those in here. A little bit of the vinegar went in there as well, and that will be good. And then I'm just gonna go down my spice aisle. Should I turn the light on for you all? I don't have a light on. This is just me in my kitchen. No plan. This is just how I cook on a random, what's today? Today's Tuesday. I have some freeze-dried cilantro from last year's garden. I'm gonna put in some garlic powder. This is cumin. This is garlic scape powder. This is some freeze-dried onion from last year's garden. I'm not gonna add any diced onion in this. Normally I would, but I don't feel like dicing onion, so I put a little extra of that in there. This is some coriander. I'm gonna put some chipotle powder. Not a lot, because that can be kind of spicy. Paprika. This is smoked paprika, because that's what I like. And then I am gonna go ahead and put some seasoned salt. This is just some homemade seasoned salt in here, which has a little bit of a lot of the things I just put in there, plus salt. So 2 pinches of that. And that has quite a bit of pepper in it, so I'm not gonna worry about putting any more pepper in it. Normally I do half sour cream, half mayo in this, but I've got this tub of plain Greek yogurt that needs to be eaten up. So I'm gonna put half Greek yogurt and a little bit of mayo to add a little bit of richness and that flavor, maybe a lot of mayo. But we're gonna add a little bit of lightness using the Greek yogurt as opposed to sour cream. And normally I would put a ton of cheese in this, but I don't think I have any shredded cheese right now. I do. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and get this in here. And then this reminds me, oh shoot, I had some fresh cilantro I could have put in there, but I forgot and I used the freeze dried. That's fine. But I do have a bunch of green onions that need to be used up. So let me get these washed up, and instead of adding just like regular onions to this, I'm gonna add green onions. One reason I love this is because one, it's delicious, but two, it kind of takes the place of cheese and sour cream because it's creamy, it's cheesy, and so if we have burrito bowls, I don't have to pull out sour cream and cheese, I just pull this out, and it's really, really nice. And this just gets better if it sits overnight, so I'm gonna put some saran over this, get it covered, and that is going to be delicious tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my mess. I have a couple dishes out still from yesterday. I have not yet washed this cast iron, so I need to get that washed. I did get the dishwasher unloaded today, so I can get the little bit of dishes I made just now in the dishwasher. And so not only was tonight's late lunch, I mean, it's gonna be 4:30 probably by the time we eat, but that didn't take very much time. But now I have half of tomorrow's dinner done because all I really need to do is grill the steak and the chicken. I don't even have to marinate it, it's already marinating. And so life is good when you have helped yourself with prep. So that's going in the fridge. Well, maybe we'll eat at like 4. It's 3:37 right now. Yeah, so that's not boiling, so I'm glad I put the foil on. That might take like 20 minutes for those, or maybe 30 for those to bake fully. It is 4:14, and these biscuits look incredible. I'm glad I covered them so that they could get fully cooked through. They're nice and browned. It's bubbly, comforting, delicious. Oh my goodness. Yep, those are fully cooked. So I'm gonna turn the oven off. I'm gonna let this cool on the counter for about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll dish up and dinner will be served. Josh needs to leave for golf in about 40 minutes, so we'll sit down and eat and then he will let out. Now, one tip that I should have done that I forgot, because I haven't baked in one of these foil pans in a while, is bake it on a cookie sheet or something so it's easier to lift out, because these are kind of flimsy, and that way you're just less likely to spill it or anything like that. So the nice thing about these, this is why Josh loves biscuits on the top, is they get crispy on the top, but on the bottom, it's kind of like a dumpling. Let me see if I can get a spoon and kind of show you. So you do want to go and make sure, just like that. So it's fully cooked through. You want to make sure that the filling is nice and hot before you put the biscuits on the top so that they get fully cooked, but they're nice and soft on the bottom and crunchy on the top. So, so yummy. I just called Josh. He's on his way up. We probably will eat outside like we did yesterday. I just spent the last 15 minutes cleaning up outside. It has been a disaster out there, and so it feels nice. Josh? Oh, that was the dogs. I thought I heard Josh coming in. So this is another delicious dinner. I will see you tomorrow when we end up cooking up tomorrow's dinner. Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. It is the next day. Today I probably folded 8 loads of laundry. I ironed all my clothes. I started packing to go out of town. I just harvested, or I didn't harvest it, but I put up the garlic to cure. And now I'm hungry. It is 4:09 and I'm hungry. So we're gonna make dinner. Right here, I have the chicken and flank steak. I already turned my grill on. I'm gonna pull this out and just let this warm up a little. It's probably gonna be out here for 10 minutes, so it's not gonna really warm up at all. Josh ate some of the chicken pot pie today. I had one of the burger patties that we made up. There's one left, and there's about probably one serving of this. It was a pico de gallo coleslaw, so we're gonna finish that today. Josh had for breakfast a breakfast sandwich, and I have only had that beef patty plus this, plus a little bit of this, so I'm very hungry. That's why we're gonna eat early today. The French toast that I had in here is gone. We still have some potatoes that need to be eaten. I'll probably have that for breakfast tomorrow because Josh has been enjoying these, so I'll probably have that tomorrow. And now what we're gonna do is make dinner tonight. I think we're gonna have tacos. I'm gonna get the tortillas out. I think I'm gonna have mine as a big old taco salad. This is the last meal I think I'm gonna cook this week because there will be plenty of food in here to eat on until we go. I'm gonna try not to eat out because I really wanna make sure we eat all of this down before we go. And one nice thing, normally when we go out of town, we eat out a lot, but not on this Montana trip. Each member of the family takes turns to make one meal, like one dinner. So I'll make a dinner with Josh one night, and then his sister and his brother and so on and so forth. And then we usually eat out like once. So that's one nice thing. Normally when we go out to town, I'm like sick of eating out, but I don't have to worry about that this time. I just don't want to go out to eat before we leave if we can help it. If we've eaten down all this food before we go, today is Wednesday. We're leaving Saturday at like, I think we have to be at the airport at like 10:30, and we don't have any more food in here, then we will go out. But I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I think since I'm gonna cook up, I think there's 6 chicken thighs in here and a whole flank steak. Between this and what I already have in the fridge, that will get us through until we leave out of town, because I do have, you know, a box of cereal, I have granola, I have peanut butter and jelly. I do have bread made up in the freezer. I probably wouldn't pull that out because I don't think we could go through a whole loaf, but I have tortillas, so we could make, you know, peanut butter and honey roll-ups or something. I don't know. I'm rambling now, but all that to say, my goal is gonna be to try to leave here with an empty refrigerator where I don't have to worry about anything going bad. So I'm just gonna bring this out here. I already preheated the grill. It does look like I need to scrub it a little bit. It needs to continue to preheat, and I need to scrub it one more time, but I'm just gonna do an initial scrub, and then I'll close it and let it continue to preheat, and then I'll scrub it one more time before I put any meat on here. A lot of times when I cook up one of the proteins that I have marinating in the freezer, I will actually cook up 2, just like I am today, so that I can have 2 different types of protein prepped in my fridge, because I like eating protein, like what would be considered probably a dinner protein, for breakfast or lunch. For example, I've been having those beef patties and they've been delicious. Those were so good, such a huge hit. Oh my goodness, so good. Okay, so I'm gonna let that continue preheat. I'll show you what that looks like when I get that on the grill. I went ahead and shredded up some cheese because I'm probably gonna end up making a quesadilla, and Josh might wanna put some cheese on his taco, and I might wanna put some cheese on my salad. I could have pulled out some shredded cheese from my freezer, but I didn't think about that till just a minute ago, and I don't think it'll be thawed in time. Oh, it smells good already. I thought there were 6 chicken thighs in there, but I guess there was only 4. The house happens to be quiet for a few minutes, so I'm just gonna sit here while my chicken and steak are cooking. Dogs are rustling. Hey, Orbit. This is very, very relaxing. It's not very warm this week. It almost feels like fall. It's kind of weird. We've had a very, very mild spring, but I know that once the heat comes, I'll be grateful for these very, very pleasant weather evenings. We are going to eat outside tonight for sure. And the hummingbirds arrived yesterday. We were sitting out here and we saw, I don't know if it was the same hummingbird, or a couple different hummingbirds, but they were eating the calibrachoa flower, or eating, you know, out of the calibrachoa flowers, the nasturtium flowers, the petunias over there, and the impatiens. And it was really, really fun to watch them, and the nasturtiums. So I got a new fork. So my favorite way to grill is with 2 forks. So I get 1 fork out when I put the meat on, and then I get another fork out when I turn it. And then I usually get a 3rd fork out when I take the chicken off the grill. I did rotate this one so I'd get some nice grill marks on it. I like grilling chicken thighs because they are very difficult to overcook. I almost like them like at like 170, 180 instead of 165. I think they have the best texture then, so I kind of like them a little overcooked. We're at 113 for the steak. Oh! And we're at 155 for the chicken. So the chicken has a bit more to go, and so does the steak, but not too much longer. I'm gonna go grab a cutting board to put these on. Just took the temperature of the chicken, and it is done. So I'm gonna bring these inside, and I'm gonna let the chicken and the steak rest for, I don't know, about 10 minutes, and then I'll cut it open, or chop it up, and dinner will be ready. So I usually don't burn all this off until I go to use it because I have been known to forget to turn it off. So it's better for me to start it and clean it before I use it than to clean it after I use it. When I was sitting here, I was wondering, I thought there just kept being tractors going by, but my neighbor has about 5 acres down there that they hay. This neighbor over here is a cattle rancher. Okay, so I'm gonna open this. I can do this without making a huge mess on myself. This cutting board has grooves in it, so it's not gonna hopefully spill on me. Okay, so I got a couple things out here for dinner. This smells incredible. So I'm gonna let this rest and then I'm gonna chop it up. We have tortillas, lettuce. This is my bowl, so I'm gonna have a big taco salad. I'll get a little bit more lettuce out, so if Josh wants tacos, he can put lettuce on his tacos. I'm sure he'll want that. We have our corn salsa. I grabbed out sour cream in case it's wanted, extra cheese. We're gonna use the last of this homemade hot sauce. And then I got some sriracha. I'm probably not gonna open another jar of homemade hot sauce till we get home. I've started the process of making a tortilla over here. Looks like I dropped some cheese on here. I'm gonna clean up. I'm making a mess on my stove. I'm gonna get that cleaned up before I turn it on so it doesn't make a huge mess. Josh just walked in here.
It smells really good.
He said it smells really good. So we're gonna have steak and or chicken tacos. You can have one of each if you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice this. It smells incredible.
That's a big hunk of meat.
Yeah. I cooked it to 140, so it's definitely on the more like medium well.
Can I take a piece?
Sure. This is a chimichurri flank steak. And this is the thin side. Is it good?
That's really good.
So I'm cutting it against the grain and I'm trying to, okay, so that's more pink right there.
That's perfect.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'm trying to cut it really thin so it's super tender. And then once I get it cut, I'll probably cut it in thirds this way just so the strips aren't so big. Josh, if you want to start making up your tortilla,
Okay.
you might want to, I don't know if you want to nuke it, get the tortilla a little bit soft. Do you want steak, chicken, or one of each? And then it's definitely, yeah, a little bit more pink here. And it's definitely more red over here. So Josh will probably eat this side because he definitely likes it a little bit more rare than I do. I would probably pick from that side. Josh is gonna make up his taco right now. Tacos, he's probably gonna have at least 2. Josh, you wanna try the chicken? Because the chicken has a different marinade on it. It has a cilantro lime marinade or a cilantro lime chimichurri. Can you tell a difference? I mean, it is chicken.
You can taste the lime for sure.
It is chicken versus. So today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we leave Saturday morning. So I don't even know if we'll probably, I don't know if we'll have breakfast on Saturday here or if we'll get it at the airport. It just depends on how the day goes. I can pull out more breakfast sandwiches. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make sure that everyone in my family can have a breakfast sandwich before we head out Saturday. And yeah, so if I cook anything else, I will show you what I cook. But my goal is to just try to reuse what I already have because we have chicken pot pie in the fridge. I've got one more of those beef patties and I have some potato hash that I made on Sunday that I need to eat tomorrow. So thank you for being here as we got all this done. I'll show you what my taco salad looks like and what Josh's tacos look like. And then you obviously know what a quesadilla looks like. I do have one more package of tortillas so we can keep making tacos with all these fixings. And it has been a fun week kind of trying to cook from the refrigerator and cook from the garden. I have someone coming here who's going to be taking care of the chickens and taking care of the house and watering the green stalks and the hanging baskets, and they are welcome to whatever produce is available coming out of the garden. But I think when we get back, hopefully we will be in store for some cherry tomatoes, zucchini, and just starting green beans. We should have a lot more sugar snap peas and lots of lettuce. And so I think I want to continue this kind of pantry challenge / garden challenge going into July when we get back. So if you enjoyed this, thank you for being here. Give me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you've been here before, I'd greatly appreciate you. I can pop some videos here. You can go enjoy between now and the next upload. I hope you enjoyed this kind of just coming along with me this week. I certainly had fun, a little less formal. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Josh, I think your tortillas are probably done. I will show you what these meals look like coming together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, friend.